Noah is tired of looking. Every night ends the same way. Another app, another match, another dinner across from a man who only wants to talk about himself. Tonight's date wears a scarf indoors, talks down to her, and leaves her with the bill before storming off. She's done this so many times, the disappointment barely registers anymore. She goes back to her small apartment and tells her best friend Molly that she's giving up. Not on people exactly, on hope. On the idea that the next swipe leads anywhere good. Then, in the least romantic place imaginable, everything changes. Noah is at the grocery store when a stranger strikes up a conversation about cotton candy grapes. His name is Steve, and everything about him quietly says, money. The air of a man who has never once worried about a bill. He's warm, quick, a little awkward in a way that reads as genuine. He doesn't hide behind a screen or a profile. He just talks to her, like a person, and asks for her number to her face. For a woman who spent months wading through the worst the apps have to offer, a man like this feels like he stepped in from a different world. And for the first time in longer than she can remember, Noah walks out smiling. It feels like the universe finally throwing her a bone. It isn't. Their first real date is everything the apps never were. Steve listens. He remembers the small things she mentioned in passing. He makes her feel rare, like she's the only interesting person he's ever met. The chemistry is immediate and intoxicating, and by the end of the night, Noah is floating. So when Steve invites her on a spontaneous weekend getaway, destination a surprise, saying yes feels less like a risk and more like a reward she's finally owed. Molly sees it differently. She likes that Noah is happy, but she presses on the things that don't add up. There's no last name, no social media, no mutual friends, no digital footprint, nothing to confirm this man is who he says he is. It's the kind of warning a good friend gives and a hopeful person ignores. Noah promises to share her location and goes anyway, choosing trust over caution, choosing the fantasy over the doubt. Steve's home is gorgeous and completely remote, miles from anyone who might hear anything. He cooks for her. He pours the wine. He toasts to taking chances and to not being afraid. And somewhere in the warmth of that evening, the floor begins to slide out from under her. Noah's words start to slur. Her vision blurs. Her body stops answering her. The last thing she sees before everything goes black is Steve, watching her collapse with a calm that should terrify her. The calm of a man who has done this many times before. She wakes in a bare, locked room, chained to the floor. And the charming man she fell for is simply gone. In his place sits someone relaxed and almost tender as he explains, plainly, what she is now. Steve is a butcher, not of livestock, of people. He seduces women, isolates them, brings them here, and harvests their bodies a piece at a time, keeping them alive because the meat has to stay fresh. And he isn't a lone madman in the woods. He has clients. Wealthy, cultured people who pay staggering amounts to eat human flesh as a delicacy. Steve isn't the appetite. He's only the supplier. If you're enjoying this recap so far, don't forget to hit the like button. Through the wall, a voice answers her. Penny, another captive who has survived here long enough to lose count of the surgeries. Long enough to understand that screaming changes nothing. Penny tells her about the others, about Melissa in a cell nearby, whose mind has already left her body behind. Noah does the cruel arithmetic fast. Move too soon and she dies. Wait too long and there won't be enough of her left to escape with. For the first time, the hope that has always defined her becomes the thing she has to bury to stay alive. So she stops fighting him and starts studying him, looking for the one weakness she can use. Noah's first instinct is still to run. The moment she's given any freedom, she takes it, and Steve catches her without effort. Her punishment is a piece of her own body, removed while she's conscious enough to learn the lesson. This is what hope costs in here. So Noah stops fighting like a victim. She starts thinking like the man who trapped her. If she can't overpower him, she'll outlast him. She'll become the one thing he won't see coming. A woman he believes actually wants him. Back home, Molly can't let the silence go. Noah has vanished, and the shared location she promised has gone dark. Molly pulls in her ex, Paul, who happened to bartend their very first date, and the two of them start pulling threads. What they uncover rewrites the whole picture. Steve doesn't exist. His real name is Brendan. He has a wife named Anne. He has children. He has an entire respectable life built directly on top of the slaughterhouse. Certain she's found a way in, Molly goes to confront Anne, expecting a frightened woman who might help her. Instead, she finds a partner. Anne knows exactly what her husband is. She has covered for him, protected the operation, lived comfortably off it for years. The confrontation ends with Molly unconscious, and she wakes in a cell of her own, now just another body in Steve's inventory. Meanwhile, Noah commits fully to the most dangerous performance of her life. She flatters Steve. She mirrors him. She lets him believe he's finally found a woman who truly sees him, maybe even loves him. It is the hardest thing she has ever done. Smiling at the man who carves her, laughing at his jokes, leaning into a touch that makes her skin crawl. Slowly, his guard drops, dances with her, and proudly shows her his collection of trophies taken from the women before her. And among them, Noah spots Molly's phone. Her best friend is somewhere in this house. The game she's been playing just became a countdown. Before we get to the shocking finale, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a recap. But the performance has bought her the one thing no other captive ever earned: trust. And when Steve finally lets his guard fall completely, certain he's safe with her, Noah strikes. In a single, savage moment, she takes from him the one part he never imagined losing. And just like that, the predator becomes the prey. What follows is blood and chaos. Noah runs, locking Steve in the room behind her, and downstairs she frees Molly and Penny. But he doesn't stay caged for long. He breaks loose and comes after them, and even with 3 women against him, he's almost impossible to put down. Until Penny, missing a limb and running on pure spite, stabs him in the leg long enough for them to break for the woods. No rescue is coming. Outside, Paul finally reaches the property, hears a gunshot crack through the trees, and makes his choice. He turns the car around and drives away. Whatever saves these women, it won't be him. So they save themselves. Out among the trees, Steve stalks them, firing blind and screaming Noah's name. And when the moment comes, the 3 of them swarm him at once. Noah grabs his own gun and puts a bullet in his head. The butcher is finally meat. But it isn't over. Anne arrives to find her husband dead and feels nothing, calmly ordering his body packed onto ice. And here's the detail that makes her the coldest part of the whole story. Anne was a victim once too. She survived Steve, lost a leg to him, and then chose to join him instead of running, trading other women's lives for her own comfort. So when Noah slips back into the woods alone to find her dropped phone, Anne reaches her first, pretending to be just another freed captive, thanking her, right up until her hands close around Noah's throat. Noah drives the house keys into Anne's neck, and Molly arrives just in time to finish it. And then it's quiet. Noah and Molly sink down against a tree, alive, holding on to each other. Noah's phone finally catches a single bar of signal, and the first thing it brings is a text from Chad, the awful date from the very beginning, asking if she's awake. After everything she survived, the world just hands her right back the same tired grind she started in. But Noah isn't the woman who answered that first message anymore. She and Molly make it out alive, and so does Penny, but they don't walk away whole. Steve took pieces of them that aren't coming back, and the only people who ever came to save them were each other. He's dead now. So is the wife who helped him, and none of it touches the world they were almost served to. Somewhere out there, the buyers are sitting down to their next meal, still wealthy, still hungry, still untouchable, while the 3 women who survived carry what was done to them for the rest of their lives. Thanks for watching. If this recap kept you hooked, share it with someone who loves a twist.